Can you take this so it doesn't keep falling?
What's the light?
I'm live, by the way.
There? Oh.
Yeah.
On what, YouTube?
Yeah.
Can you get like an external camera and put it on the side of that and then film?
Yeah. Hi, Jason. How you doing? You're always first, Jason. It always makes me wonder, like, are you like constantly on YouTube? Because like every stream that I see you on, you're always the first one. I am always, yeah, you are. It's so strange. You must like always have like YouTube open and get notified really quickly. Let's just see if anybody else joins. I said I was going to do a live stream today, but I didn't really say what time. And I was actually about to record this as a normal video, this switch, but I thought I would do it in a live stream instead. So I've got this switch that a customer's dropped off. It came with this Joy-Con, which is so weird. It feels like literally a feather. It's so light compared to the regular Joy-Cons. So I'll just see if anybody else joins before we get started. Because my house died. Oh no! Was there like a huge like storm or something in America, or did you just leave a tap on and forget to turn it off? What I might do actually is record this as a normal video as well. So you might see my little tripod in the background. Video. I'm going to need your phone to check the live chat.
Yeah, that's what I have for you.
Won't let me check live chat here for some reason. But yeah, you'll notice that I've got my nails done. But I can still do repairs. Don't worry, guys. I just couldn't resist. I haven't had them done in ages. So I'm right. I can't check chat. Could you grab your phone?
Yeah, I'm on twice.
So we'll get started with this switch then. So they dropped it off and said that it doesn't power on at all. So if we check the charge, apologies, my ring light keeps falling down. We've got 0.32, 0.35. Let's turn it round. And then we've got 0.38, 0.29. Okay, so it's getting power, but there's nothing displaying on the screen. So I'm guessing it's probably a P13 USB.
Goes under.
No, it's okay. So let's take it apart and have a look, check for some shorts, see what's going on. We've got 2 screws missing, 3, 4 screws, 5 screws. Okay. The lady did say that she took this somewhere else, but they quoted her £100, which I think that's like $120 in the US. But we only charge £60, which is probably about $70, $80 for this kind of repair. Possibly M92, Jason, yeah, but every time I've had this, it's always been M92. The cap on M92 is shorted, but it's the one that leads to the P13 USB. So let's just take this out. Okay. It's a good job y'all didn't see the last switch I did about an hour ago. That one actually was really badly water damaged. It's still powered on, surprisingly. I don't know how it's still powered on. Are you leaving?
Just getting the charger for that phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's still powered on somehow. I honestly don't know how. But there was like a lot of sticky stuff around of it, and it was causing one of the rails not to work. So the right rail wasn't working. Once I cleaned it all up though, it did work. But I somehow managed to damage the LCD in the process, which kind of sucks. I mean, it wasn't like lines all over or anything. It was just the IPA got on it, so it was slightly damp. Let me know if this is okay or if you need me to change the camera angle up a little. It still won't let me do it off my phone because apparently I'm not eligible, which is really stupid. I don't know what the whole point in that is. So I have to film off the webcam from my laptop. Apparently I need 1,000 subscribers just to film off my phone. I don't know what the whole point in that is. Hello to everyone that's recently joined though. Apologies if you can hear the background, we've got a baby crying. Goddamn baby crying. Now I just need to lift this up. Okay, now we can see inside. I've got somebody that wants to watch. 1 second. Let me just goddamn light keeps falling. It's probably gonna fall again in a second. Okay, I just need to link them to this. How do I share live streams? Does anybody know? Quality captions. Didn't say how you share it. If anybody knows how you share it, could you put it in the comments? The arrow. I mean, I'm on the phone. Well, I'm on my partner's phone. That is. Comes up with 3 dots, and it normally has share here, but there's no like share option. I've just told them to search my channel anyways, and it'll come up there. So let's get the multimeter onto continuity mode with the black probe. I usually pop it here, and then we'll try and test it. Okay, they're fine. Read normal. Yep, just as I expected. It's always this one. So the cap to the far left of the M92, both of them are shorting out. And this one leads to P13, which I'm pretty sure I don't have any spare ones. So I might have to have a look, grab it off a spare board. But yep, this one's shorting out, as you can hear. So we're going to have to do a whole tear down, take the board out, and see if the cap above P13 is shorting out, which more than likely it will be. So let's do that. First thing we want to do though is unplug the battery. I'm guessing this one's had a little bit of water damage as well, because the water sticker is slightly pink, not too much, just a little bit. So we need our crosshead screwdriver. Just gonna have to move this back a little bit. See if I can get some light over here. Hi Dream Pack. Better than that, the short on pin 18. I agree, both chips. Yep. As I suspected, Michael, it's P13.
Yeah.
There's a cap that shorts out and M92 that connects straight to it. So we need to unscrew this down. To get this off without ripping the foam, I'm just going to heat it up a little bit. So let's plug this in. And then I grab the tweezers and I hold it on the heat sink, and then I'll lightly heat up the foam. And again, lifted up perfectly. I learnt this trick off Phil. He taught me to do this without having to rip it off, which is ideal. And then I'm going to take the NAND out, put that to one side. Oh, one screwdriver. Don't want to do that. Sorry, I've got this one. I think I've got a spare board that I can use. And then we just unclip the digitizer, remove the game card. Can you fix it? Probably need more tape. 1 second, guys, just fixing the ring light that keeps falling down. There's tape here.
Mute for a sec.
Sorry. 7 viewers. Hello to everyone that's watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you could all give it a big thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. And also comment so we can see who's watching. So now for the LCD, I'm just sticking my tweezers in and gently pulling upwards. Same with the fan, just lifting the flaps up. And then pulling them out. Now I just need to unscrew all the black screws. Got one here as well. Need my hackle. Where's my hackle tweezers? Okay, I can't seem to figure out what I've done with my hackle tweezers, but they're like a lot more chunky, so it helps with trying to get out the speakers. This way is a lot more fiddly. I don't like to quite like pull on them because you end up ripping the cables out.
Boris and Preedy joined.
What?
Boris and Preedy joined already. Said hi.
Hi, Preddy. Hi, Boris. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. For anyone new that's watching, we're currently working on a Nintendo Switch with no power. So there's a short cap on the left of the M92. So we're taking out the board. To test the M92. Oh, backlight, forgot about that. My bad. Okay, there we go. And then we can put the chassis to one side. I'm just going to wipe off this thermal paste because we're going to replace it anyways, and it's all crusty and flaky and nobody likes that. I'll be struggling to see the chat, but I've got Michael in the background, so he'll be monitoring the chat, so do feel free to just keep talking and I'll try my best to respond. So now we've got the board out. Now I'm going to check the cap above the P13. So I'm just putting my black probe on the charger port. And then, yep, and as suspected, that is shorting out. So it's going to need a replacement P13. So let me just see if I can get one. BQ12. What's this one? I've got BQ24 M92 that are brand new that I might have to use one off another bowl. 'Cause 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 got one on here that I can use. Let me make sure that this one's not shorting out. Okay, this one's fine. So I'm going to take the one off this one to replace onto here. So first we need to apply some flux. Table's a little messy because I've been doing quite a lot of console repairs today, but I'm planning on tidying it. So the flux that I use is the King Ball flux. You can get it for like a couple of quid on eBay or Amazon. I'd say it's just like Amtech because I used the Amtech one. It was about £26, £30. Very expensive, but also really good. I did have the needle on here, but Michael lost it, so blame him. So if it looks like I put a bit too much flux on, I probably am. But it's kind of hard to control.
Dreams Peck said I would remove both chips. Check for shorts again.
So I'm going to remove this IC so that we've got it as spare, and then I'll remove this one, and then I'll test it again. I really actually need my hacker because I don't trust the other tweezers. I do have loads of tweezers, but they're kind of like the cheap ones, and they tend to chip. They tend to chip or crack the chips that I find.
Really need to start looking for the bathroom.
Yeah, I had it here a second ago. It's probably just
Buried.
yeah, it's probably just buried under stuff. It's so annoying when I put something down and then it like disappears instantly after it was just right next to me. Oh, here they are. Alright, sorry then. So I've got the Hakko 2-way SA. These ones, they're not as small as they could be. They're quite thick and rounded at the tip, but it's alright for just grabbing the chips. So I'll move this console out the way, grab this one. And I'm using 382 degrees with 45 airflow. Okay, that actually moved a lot faster than I expected. So now for this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just remove the IC and check to see if the short remains. Okay, there's that removed. Let's have a look now. Yep, and as suspected, the short is now gone. So I'm just going to check under the microscope quickly just to make sure that I've not knocked anything. Let's see. Yep, that all looks good. So now let's add the other chip. I'm going to add some leaded solder. Just going to do this under the scope actually. I don't think you'll be able to see the scope, but apologies if it does get in the way. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to change this. There we go. Apologies, I am here. I'm just concentrating. Okay, so now I'm going to clean that up by removing the old flux and adding some fresh flux. Can I see the chat? Okay, I'm just reading through the chat just to catch up. Micro image repair. Hi! The wise pod. Oopsie, I didn't notice you were live, but I was waiting for this. Are they chip pulling tweezers? I'm not sure. Which ones did you do? Hi, Jaden. I've not done any retro consoles, any of the PS1s, Nintendo Wii's, etc. like that. I tend to just decline them because I don't really have much knowledge in them, and um, the parts usually actually cost more than what the console is worth. So we've got 10 viewers. Whoop! Hey everyone. Make sure you like the live stream if you can. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber, as you know, so I'm really small and I'm still growing, so it helps out a lot. So I appreciate the support. You know, your girl just trying to get herself out there.
Still really uncommon though for a female to do this kind of professional, isn't it?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people ask me about like how I've got into it and stuff, and honestly, I just generally enjoy repairing things rather than buying something new. I'd prefer to repair it, and I find the whole process quite fun, which is how I got into it. So it is a bit unusual for a female to do it, but I suppose that's what makes it unique. And there was one person that I'm partnered with at the moment. He lives in a different city from me. When he started talking to me, he thought I was fake, and he thought I was like an Indian guy hiding behind a female profile. But then he saw my YouTube, and he was like, "Oh, so you are real." So I do get a lot of people thinking I'm either fake or question my abilities just because of my gender, which is strange, to be fair. It's weird. I did discuss this in my last live stream, so I'm not going to go over it too much again.
It's crazy how quickly you picked up your skill in soldering and temperature replacement, stuff like that.
I mean, all my skills is self-taught, but I think most technicians on YouTube are self-taught. I know Phil, I think he said he was self-taught. He's not got any specific qualifications. Which I was like thinking of getting a qualification myself, but they're just too pricey. The lens is a little blurry.
Might be better because it'll tape over it.
Is it? Well, that'll be why.
Put it to the side here, still.
Oh, that makes a huge difference. I wondered why it was all like that. I couldn't see a thing. Trying to just figure out the orientation of this chip.
But yeah, it's like a good hobby to do as well, if you like to pick it up yourself.
Where's the dot? So the dot is...
You could just be like an average person.
Okay, it goes this way.
Once you've got new skill, obviously, and then.
So flux again. So we're going to have a little bit of excess solder coming out. Let me just catch up and chat. I agree, yeah. I think I prefer learning by myself than doing classes. I tend to learn more doing it myself than any other way. But that's just me. So we've just got a bit of solder excess coming out, but that's alright. You can sort the blobs out, no problem. So I'm just plugging my soldering iron in again. And then cleaning up these solder balls. Oh, we got a little bridge. Okay, there we go. That's all cleaned up. So now I'm just going to clean it up with some IPA and then we'll check to see if the short is still there or not. I think I've got that the right way. Yes, I do. I might need to reflow it again, but we should be okay. It looks positioned right.
Red Dragon Strong Stream.
Huh?
Red Dragon Strong Stream.
Red Dragon?
Yeah.
Hi, Red Dragon. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the stream. I am a new channel, so it really helps out a lot.
That's the latest and the greatest YouTube content for fixing consoles.
Oh, I've cut myself. How have I done that?
Ooh.
Just got blood. Not quite sure how I've managed to cut myself. And let's check. Perfect, and the short is gone. So let's test it now. I love these fixes because they're just so easy. So now I'm just gonna put in the enough cables just to test it with, which, as you all know, is the power, the LCD, and the backlight.
And then
Of course, the NAND as well. Yes.
because that's completely you forget when you rebuild it again.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you can clearly see the NAND's missing, but for some reason I keep forgetting that the NAND's not plugged in, and I turn it on. I'm like, why is it not working? And I'm like, oh, the NAND's not plugged in. Oh, I'm getting blood everywhere.
What about it? $12 viewers.
Welcome everyone again. Make sure you say hello in the chat. Always lots of fun going on down at Katronics.
Share as well if you want to.
Yeah, that would be great. Feel free to share if you enjoy my content. It would help out a lot.
It'd be crazy if one day you go on your stream and live stream and like 10,000 viewers or insane.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, but Fix says hi, Katronics. What was the fault?
Hi, Doc. We're working on a Nintendo Switch that has no power. There was a short on the left cap on the M92 that was leading to the P13 USB, and there was a short on the P13 USB. So we've replaced the P13, and now we're going to test it. And I reckon this has probably fixed it because all my non-power issues are generally always this. I don't really get many that are simply just a replacement M92, and it's usually the M92 that would cause it, but for whatever reason I don't get that. So I showed you guys the console beforehand. Let's plug it back in and see what kind of readings we get now. So just so that you can see it. Let's plug it in. If it doesn't work, then it could just be that it needs reflowing. Oh, and there we go. We have a charging symbol, which we never had before. So that is charging now. So it simply was the P13 USB, which is awesome. I love simple chip replacements like that. So I'm going to let that charge up for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it and test, like, to make sure it fully functions. But as far as that is now working. Let's just catch up on chat. Pretty got a console here 2 ages to get it sorted, and now I can't get the owner to answer my calls or texts. Oh well, eBay, here it comes. Yeah, I have had a few consoles like that. The owner, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to get back to you. Nice, keep up the good work. Thank you, Donald.
That console had for like.
I never get easy stuff. Oh, bless Jason. Thank you for all the support. Hi, Micro. Hello, Dragon.
That way his console took like 3 months for us to come get it.
Yeah.
You were joking about saying it was a sell on eBay.
So hopefully that'll charge up relatively quickly. So in the meantime, we're going to work on this Joy-Con, which apparently has drift, and the stick also doesn't have the rubber part. Let me just keep it a second. Run 34 so you can. Don't even think I have any more spare sticks left. Just put the light on. So let's have a look. buy some more sticks, but I'm guessing you can use them.
Yeah, you had a couple there.
Alright, I don't think I've got any sticks left, so I'll have to put that to one side for now. So whilst the other switch is charging, let's move on to our next switch. I've got another 2 consoles to work on. What's the hardest thing you found out about repairing? That's a good question. Probably BGA, to be honest. BGA chips, I find that very difficult to remove and replace without knocking any of the solder balls and trying to put a new BGA back on without the solder balls falling off. That's probably the hardest thing. So I tend to stay away from BGA chips as much as possible. And yeah. What's up?
I just feel like a really, really big draft come through the door.
The window's open, isn't it?
No, no. That window's open. I can't feel nothing for that window, but the door, I've got loads of air come through.
Okay. So this console here, I've already taken it apart, but what I believe is that there's a backlight issue. Well, no, the backlight works. It's an LCD issue, so I'm guessing it's either got a damaged LCD connector or LCD itself. So let's give that a test. Oh. Go downstairs and watch telly if you want.
No, I was doing the thing, but you took it off.
Sorry, so I'm just going to pass the chat back over to Michael and he'll monitor the chat. For whatever reason, it's not coming up for me on the side. So on here we get .08, 0.05, 0.14. So we're not getting much charge at all. Oh, but we've got a backlight on. I just saw that.
Do you want to charge that console still? There's another cable over there if you need it.
Yeah. Okay, I think this battery's completely dead. But I can see the backlight turning on, but nothing's coming on. So I'm going to take this board out and have a look.
Charge that console whilst it's been used the other one.
I don't have anything to charge it with.
USB plug.
Yeah, I don't have a USB plug. Sorry, give this back in. So fingers crossed that last console was just a simple chip repair and it all functions, and then we can screw it all back together and give it back to the customer. So now let's see what the problem is with this. So we know the backlight works, so it's... Let me see if there's any pins that could be out. Oh looks good to me. Have you just gone off it?
No. You've got a notification on.
Oh, thanks. Let me know if anything new comes up on the chat.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to see if I've got another LCD I can test with. Actually, I'll test it with this customer because we know that theirs works and it's charging. And then this way, we'll be able to rule out whether it's the FPC connector or if it's the LCD display itself. I think I can get a OEM charger and then it'll charge faster. We're on 15 views now. Wow. I think this is the most I've ever had on my stream before. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Does it say 15 for you?
Yeah, 15 on there and it's 40 on the other one.
Unfortunately, Jinxie is no longer a part of the channel anymore. As we had a bit of a falling out. For anyone that knows Jinxie, that is. I do have him as mod still, as I don't know how to remove as mod without being on the stream, so I'm hoping he kind of like joins just so that I can remove him as mod. If anyone else knows how I can do it without him being on the stream, please let me know, because it would suck if he started tampering. So I do think it's actually the FPC connector because it's struggling to go in on the side. So it looks like I'm going to have to replace that. Anyone saying anything? Okay. Do we get power? We do. Backlight.
Jaden, he said, how long have you been fixing stuff?
I've been fixing stuff for about just under a year, I suppose. I started in June last year. I started off just doing controllers. And then towards the end of the year, I moved on to doing more complex things like consoles. So yeah, I've not really been doing it for that long, to be honest. So let's try this again with the power button in, but it still struggles to go in on the right. So
How's your laptop to charge?
laptop's okay. Okay. Yep. Probably can't see that here, but backlight's actually on right now. But still nothing coming up, so definitely.
Red asked, how did you get started?
Definitely LCD connector issue. How did I get started? Like I say, I just had an interest for fixing things. I started off with just taking apart consoles. Not consoles, controllers. The Joy-Cons specifically because they're the easiest. And I just made my way from there and then started buying more advanced equipment as I went along. Okay, yeah, this is still not working, so I'm going to just quickly check if I've got another LCD connector and we'll work on replacing this.
You have another question from Donald Duckfix. He says, Katronics, when did you feel confident enough to start repairing other people's items?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. I like this. When did I start feeling more confident to repair other customers' items? Probably after I'd done quite a few successful repairs. So
Many of your own stuff as well, you fixed, didn't you?
yeah, I had a lot of my own stuff that I was repairing at the time, and then once I became like the repairs were successful and they were working, that's when I had more confidence doing customers. Because obviously you never want to start out doing a customer's repair in case it goes wrong. And oh, that one doesn't have that on. What was I gonna say? I forgot. The mine's just gone blank. Yeah, my mind's just randomly just like gone cloudy and blank.
Another question from Jaden. Says, last question, not trying to distract you. What made you start repair?
Well, mainly because I was like my partner himself, he works, he's a warehouse operative, but when he's working, I'm just home alone by myself with my kitties, and I wanted something to do, and I've always struggled to get a job. I've always sent in applications, but I've never been successful. But I've always been quite entrepreneurial myself, and I've always had like loads of little business ideas going on in the past. So when I figured I could fix things and I saw how cheap I could get the repair parts for, and I saw that there was a supply field in my area, I thought to just go ahead and go for it. And of course, Tees Valley Gaming Repair is the name of my business. It seems to be the most successful in the Tees Valley in the northeast of my area because a lot of people trust to come to us, and we are the most reliable and the most affordable from other repair places, because a lot of other repair places tend to charge like 2 times, maybe even 3 times more than what we charge. But our costs are still fair. We're still able to cover the cost of the part as well as make profit and everything else on top of that. So we don't cut ourselves low too much.
We make it fair and reasonable for everyone.
I need to see if I've got any parts that I can use.
Such as the lady switch previously got charged £100 actually for a fix.
Yeah, for example, the console that I just worked on, if you were at the beginning of the stream, someone quoted 100 for that, but we do it for 60. Because the P13 USB, they're only like £3 or £4 to supply, and like £60, quite fair to be fair, for labouring cost and all that.
Sheridan says, hi Kat, I was working in electronics for 35 years and I would say slow yourself down, you have good skills, but you look like you're trying to rush. a bit when assembling?
No, I'm not rushing. I'm generally just a fast person in general. Like, I'm quite fast paced. So if it looks like I'm rushing, I don't mean to. But I do generally handle a lot of my repairs with care, and I am gentle with it. It may look like I'm not, but I can assure you I am. Because obviously we are repairing the customer's console. We don't want to add more damage to it and, you know, end up losing out on profit, do we? And there's Bella.
Ensuring there's going to be less damage caused to the console. Got that right.
But as I do have a lot of consoles to go through, I do also have to be like fairly quick because, you know, you want to get one console done and then move on to the next. Hello, Rory. Okay, this one has an LCD connector in. So we'll use this one. This one's just a dead board that I've got, so I'm just going to try and carefully remove this one and replace it onto this one.
Angela's just said probably just excitement because you got it finished.
Yeah, I mean that too as well. So I'm just going to rip this off because it's just a spare board. It's all pretty much knackered. I don't really care about ripping the foam or anything. And hi, Angela, as well. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining.
Another question from Jaden. Do you plan on opening your own shop in the future?
See, that's a tricky one, to be fair. Yes and no. I mean, when you work from home, you never really get taken seriously as much as you should. You get people come at all kinds of different times. And because obviously you're working from home, some people are like, oh, I don't know whether to trust you or not. But also, you don't have to worry about like cost of the building rent and all that. So, I mean, I don't know, probably not, because Phil's doing quite successful himself. He works from home, and I mean, if I can just do it here and pay rent for the house and not have to pay more rent on top of that for a shop as well, then I don't know. And then it also means kind of like hiring staff and all that. And for anyone that's watched Tronics Fix's other channel, I can't remember the name of it. It's called Steve something. He actually made a video on his second channel as to why he quit, and it was basically just getting too much for him, like all the cost for staff and all that. And it can be quite profitable, but once you start adding more cost onto it, you start to then like lose out on money.
Also, would you feel more comfortable in your own sort of environment? So that knowing you can take a break when you want to.
Yeah, that too.
Micro Mage Repair says bootstrapping is better than going into debt.
Bootstrapping?
Yeah, especially with.
I have no idea what that is. So if you could explain, that would be awesome. Again, if you see me being rough on this console, it's not a customer's, don't worry, it's just a random dead console that I've got. There's like bits all over the place. So don't worry, I'm not like harming someone's precious console. I'm just going to heat up from underneath here to get this LCD connector off. I'm going to start getting boards mixed up here. Okay, so to do this,
Micromanaged repair set means self-funded, as you can afford to do so.
So what I do is I've got my solder, whatever here, and then I pop the board on here, I remove the NAND, just because I don't want to heat that up and ruin it. Not that it matters because it's a dead board, but yeah, and then I'm going to heat up from underneath and try and remove this connector. But I'm going to lift it up, apply a bit of flux, and fingers crossed we don't damage it, because I'm pretty sure this is my only FPC connector left. If I damage this, then I'm going to have to order some more in.
And said, how on earth do you manage with those nails? Lol, I'd be no good. Then again, I'm not a girl, so I'm not used to them. Lol.
That is also a good question. I haven't had my nails done in ages, so I couldn't resist to get them done. I very rarely have them this long, if I'm honest with you. I normally have them like really short. But just as a little one-off, I thought I would do it, and I'm still able to do repairs even whilst doing this. So, like I say, they're not extremely long, so I'm able to cope with them slightly. If they're any longer than this, I'd probably struggle even more. Oh Jesus, look at all that I've melted. Oh God, that's not good. Yeah, that would be good actually. If anyone could recommend a clamp.
Yeah, that would be good actually. If anyone could recommend a clamp.
Just I've used a couple of clamps in the past and they've been terrible. So I've got the FPC connector removed here. I'm just going to check under the scope and see if it's damaged at all. Because I don't know if this is actually, because like I say, this is just a dead board, so I don't know if this was damaged to begin with. And if it is, that's going to be really fucking sad. Can't see anything unusual, so it might still work. Stick fires. Oh, I'll have to search that up actually. Let me do that now. Vice rather. Stick voice. Is this on eBay? Let me just search it up. Because I really need something like this. Stick voice. Is it with an S or a C?
It's that. It's a one word. Stick voice. PCB clip.
Well, you guys, I typed in stick fires on eBay and it came up with lipstick. You're trying to recommend that I get some lipstick?
Oh, that's one of these though. This.
Oh. Where can I get that from?
You can get it from. Just check. Drop in. Pit hot. Bit cables. For. I was on still on eBay for £31. It's all metal, I think, as well, so it's heat resistant, I think.
Alright, let's take this board out. And then we can try and replace the LCD FPC, and then we can try and get that customer's board charging again.
Dreams spec said the VG T24 quad shaft 4-axis PCB logic board holder. It's another good one to go for.
Okay, if you screenshot that and then I can look more into it. So I'm going to try and not do that again and like burn a lot of plastic because that is in my throat. How would be the best way to do this? I'm going to get some Captain tape just to protect these two components because now I'm working on a proper board, so we don't want any of those parts to get burnt or ruined at all. Captain tape I use is quite thin. I've seen some people use some quite thick stuff, and I just wrap it round a few times. I know the next board I have to work on after this has a faulty BGA, so not looking forward to that. There we go, that should be enough. So what else can I put it on?
Seeing it's on the stream.
What?
See that right, call it up.
Trying to think what I can use. Do you want to hold it?
Don't hold.
Yeah. Well, you'll need to move over. Oh, come on, Michael. Don't be so pathetic. Okay, if you can try and keep it still. Like this. I need to heat up underneath, so I need you to lift it higher. Don't know what to do. There we go, that's perfect. Let me try putting some more flux on. This should just remove itself, but it's not. Okay, just put it down. Okay, I'm going to try removing it from the top because it doesn't want to remove from the bottom, which means the plastic, unfortunately, is going to melt. But it looks like the solder is melting a lot easier now, so this should come off any second. There we go. It has melted in half, but it's alright. Okay, so that's that off. That was quite harder than it had to be. So let's just go over it now with the soldering iron. Hopefully we can try and get 2 good repairs done tonight, because I'm starting to get quite hungry and thirsty.
Subscribers.
Oh, 96 subscribers. Only 4 left to 100, guys. If you haven't already, please sub. So I'm just going over the solder that's on the FPC pins, just with some of my own solder, as the Americans like to say. I say solder, but I somehow managed to pick up watching all the videos that they use, and they say solder. I've just got one pin here that doesn't want to grab to the solder.
A question from Donald Duckfix. It says, how did you decide on what you were going to charge for repairs?
I mean, the main way I did it was, obviously I wanted to be known as like the most affordable in the area, and I wanted to obviously get those consoles coming in and making money. So I just looked around at what other shops were charging and charged slightly lower than them. That's how I did it, really. Because obviously if you're charging that little bit less, then people are going to want to come to you, aren't they? As long as they know that you're reliable and you're able to fix. And I also charge I also run on a no fix, no pay kind of fee thing as well. Not really a fee, but yeah, so if I can't fix the console, then I don't charge. Whereas like Northridge Fix or Northridge Repairs or whatever his YouTube channel is, I know he charges quite a lot. And if he can't fix it, he still charges, which I don't believe in that at all, because I mean, I understand that if you're putting time into something, you need to get paid for your time, but also people are going to be more hesitant to come to you if they're going to be charged either way, even if it's not going to be fixed. And that way I've got more people like trustworthy and wanting to come to me, because like if it can't be fixed, then I don't charge them, and then they're not losing out on anything. I'm just going to put my extraction fan on. It's very smoky and I'm breathing a lot in, so it's going to be quite loud. Jeez. Why is solder not sticking? Yeah, like constantly and like reflecting. I'll answer your question in a second, Jaden, once the extractor's off. Fume extractor, it's not like a bought one from eBay or something. It's a DIY self-made one. So the extractor that I use is, let me move my scope out the way. I've got this fan here, which this bit sucks. The suction is quite strong. It blows on the other side. This side suction, this side blows. And then there's a ducting, which goes all the way up and out the window. So I use that as I find that a lot more powerful than some of the fume extractors that you get off eBay that are just like a little bit of a suction with a charcoal filter that doesn't really do much because you have to have it like really close. This one, obviously the closer you have the better it is, but also it still works at quite a fair distance because I made sure to get the suction that was the strongest. So it kind of just all sucks it up and goes out.
But no, do you think it's fairly like good to charge though? So if you spent 2 hours looking at a console or say a computer or something like that, you've made up no progress on it.
I don't know really.
It depends on how you feel to be fair.
Because I mean, I wouldn't, although I'd want to, just because of the time I've spent, I still probably wouldn't because obviously I've not done much.
Donald Ducks, so I've got another question.
Yeah, we didn't. Do you have a trade account for your parts you buy? And have you ever accepted mail repairs or just local and surrounding areas? I do have a trade account, Duck. I do, yes. With Replace Base. I'm registered there, and the staff there, oh, they're so nice. Anytime I've had a problem, they've honestly like dealt with it so quickly, and their delivery times, oh my god, they're so trustworthy. So the majority of the times if I'm needing something quick, I'll go there. The prices are quite a lot, so I don't always shop there, even with my trade account. It obviously makes it cheaper, but sometimes I can get it that little bit less somewhere else. So I don't always go there, but when I do need something, the majority of the time I will go there just because of how reliable they are. The staff are so nice, and also delivery times are really fast. So that is to that. Mail-in repairs, yes, I very rarely get any mail repairs. Whereas like Phil, he relies like always on mail-in repairs. He doesn't do any locals, but mine majority are all just like local. The customer will come and drop it off. I'll repair it within like a day or two, maybe probably even the same day repair, depending on what it is and what time they drop it off. And then obviously they come and collect it. But I do accept mail repairs, I just barely get it, that's all. So if you are looking for somewhere and you do need a trade account, I do recommend Replace Base. But like I say, they are kind of slightly on the pricey side. I'm gonna try and see if I can somewhat hand solder this on because of me not having a stand. It's a bit difficult to heat up the bottom and put it on. If I did that, it would be awesome, but I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to change my tip to a actually getting a little bit of a cough now because of these fumes. Okay, I've got a small tip here.
No, you can through the camera.
Get
that rubber close to the camera on through.
So I'm going to see if I can just hand solder this on. And then I'll probably work on the third console tomorrow I still get reminded that this is the coder on it because he's somehow done the settings. So every time I turn it on, it comes up with the coder. I'll show you. There you go. Can you see that? The coder. Oh, it keeps moving around. One thing I hate about doing these.
You want more? Just some hogs.
Oh, it keeps. I think I've got too much flux on. No, Rory, don't jump up. I've got a cat that loves attention. So when I'm doing soldering work, he always likes to jump up and I'm scared that I'm gonna burn him with the soldering iron.
I'll show him camera that. There's Rory.
Hello, baby. I'll show you all our cat Rory.
Here he is.
Rory. Oh, beautiful little boy. Oh, now he's going to jump on. Don't jump on me. Rory, no.
He's supposed to get the camera.
I love you, baby, but I'm busy. I'm working. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Just go on the table.
And he pulls everything down. Okay, let's get back to work with this
It's wrecking
connector.
things with Rory, isn't it?
Wrecking things with Rory. Yeah, we've created this song called Wrecking Things with Rory because he likes to break everything. Okay, let's clean this up and see how I've done. We might have to reposition it. Still, oh, and it didn't even come on, didn't even stick on properly. Great. Be so much easier if I could just heat up the bottom. See, if I used boards on a part that was not fixable, I would just remove the parts.
And what I'm saying is that just like the board was working beforehand, but it's that far gone.
So the board was working, but it's gone. That doesn't make sense.
So like I said, the board was working, but like it was a 50-50 chance of it working with it fixing. I think.
Working things with Rory. Working things with Rory. Yeah, our cat's called Rory. The way we got that name is because is it Rory again? Andy's back. When we first got him, the people that we got him off told us that he was a girl, so we called him Aurora. And he is a very smart cat, so he would respond to his name and everything. And then we found out he wasn't a girl, and we didn't want to completely change his name, so we just started calling him Rory because we thought that was more masculine. Because, like, even though I could continue calling him that, like, knowing that he's a guy and calling him Aurora just didn't seem right. Right, so let's try soldering from the back first.
3 subscribers away.
Oh, 3 subs away, I've been told. From 100. Ugh. Stop being so difficult and just stay on the board.
Jason said flow it on the fire. Jason said flow it on the fire.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. But with me not having a stand, that makes it a lot more easier. Sorry, a lot more difficult. Because I have nothing to hold it on for me to heat up underneath with the hot air. But I can try it because this just isn't working.
Hot air from below.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know how I'm going to do that because I've got nothing to hold it with.
Would that stand is on about work? So you have the elevator, wouldn't it?
I don't know. What can I use them?
Could use like an old Xbox shell. And then underneath that.
No, because it's plastic and it all.
Little part.
What?
That wasn't it.
Yeah.
Or we can hang off the bench.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna hang it off the bench and do it this way, guys. Using this to hold this down. Hopefully this is stable and doesn't fall. Need light. You doing a few mix like that? Okay, so I'm not quite sure if that's that one right. I'm pretty sure it's not, so I'm gonna have to double check that. Hopefully I've not applied too much heat. Let's have a look. And see, because I generally don't think this is positioned right. Oh, I don't know, you guys. This couldn't look any more perfect, actually. I generally thought this wasn't positioned right at all, but that actually looks like it's sat beautifully. Oh my god, I don't think I could have got it any better than that. Damn.
Should you have a rope back?
I'm impressed. Yeah, I did. I checked both rows. I'm actually really impressed. I expected this to look so wonky. Because when I was doing it, I obviously wasn't looking through the scope and I thought it wasn't sat right.
Well, you winged it really well.
Yeah. I suppose I did. Let's just clean up. Hopefully the fan and the battery connector's okay. Like I have done one of these before, so it's not like my first LCD replacement attempt. I have done it before. They're just a pain to do, that's all. I'm actually really shook at the positioning. Like I generally expected to look through the scope and it'd be all wonky. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take the Kapton tape off and then clean around here. Hi Kayla. She's just messaged me to say that she's still watching but she can't comment. So we took the Kapton tape off around the fan and the battery connector. Sorry, the power connector. Looks like there's a bit of thermal paste there. I don't know how that's got there. There is. How on earth has thermal paste got over there? Let's clean this up a bit.
Do you want to catch up on that switch?
Hmm?
Do you want to catch up on that switch? Do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to clean this up and then we'll test Kayla's switch. The person watching, she's actually the customer that I was working the console on. I've just got it charging at the moment, and it comes up with 1.34 amps. So that's good. That means it's powering like normal. So I just want to make sure this is fully clean first. Okay. I can't hear them scratching.
Okay. So,
Okay, so let's move all the screws out the way because we don't want to get the screen all scratched. Now, do we? So that's the battery charge to somewhat capacity. So I'm just going to gently unplug that. And then get that out like so. Oh, I hate when that happens. You have a bloody thing that is not lifting up. So you lift it up and then there's something else and then the other one goes back down again. Okay. So let's plug it all in. and then plug the power in. Now I'm plugging in the right rail. Clip that bit in. Okay, now we're going to put the game card reader in because we want to... Actually, I better put the LCD in first and then put that in. Hi, Rory. You okay? Are you hungry? We'll get you some food shortly, don't worry. Turn it back around. And now these game card readers are the pain of me. I can never get them to clip in. So now I'm just clipping in the digitizer. Okay, that's clipped in. So LCD's in. Okay, everything's in. So let's turn it on. So I don't need to worry about the heat sink or anything just yet. We're getting a green light. Screen's a bit dirty, but don't worry. Oh, and there we go. Turns on. Touchscreen works. All games show. And we get 1.37 on the amp reader. Let's just plug in the other rail. I don't know why, but a lot of people that get no power switches, they're usually always the M92 that has to be replaced, but for me it's always the P13. So let's clip this in. This works. Now she did mention something about drift on this Joy-Con. Yeah, this one has a mind of its own, so I'll have to repair that. But as far as that's pretty much done now. Other than this. So I just need to clean the screen up, get that all looking nice, and put the screws back in and everything, and then I can give it back to the customer.
Okay, so well done.
So super happy about that. So we'll just move that to one side and then we'll go back to the one that we're working on. Let's have another look. I think this is the one we're working on, wasn't it? Yeah, it would be. So now for this one, this battery is pretty dead as well, to be fair. This one needs charging as well, but we'll be able to see if we've resolved the issue or not because it'll come up with a little battery symbol in the corner. So just want to press down to clip it in. I'm wondering if there's a pin out of place on this one because it doesn't actually want to go in fully. I'll test it anyways, but I'm not having much hope with this one. I'm gonna have to order more parts in, to be fair. Oh, 7 likes now, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, that doesn't sound good. That was making a beeping noise or like a buzzing noise. The M92 is getting hot. Huh. Let me just check for a shot. Shouldn't be beeping like that. Fire. To be honest, it does sound like it's gonna explode when it does that. It's like.
Do you remember one time one actually like exploded, didn't it, or something? It sparked or something?
Yeah.
Very capacitor explode.
Just my luck. I've got a short on the M92 on this bottom capacitor. But I've never had much luck with this one because it's the very bottom capacitor below it. And usually when I take the M92 off the board, the short is still present. So I really hope it's not one of them.
A pearl peach from the stream has asked, is this the water damaged?
No, it's not water damaged. So I'll show you the capacitor that is shorting out. It's this one right here at the bottom. I do feel the M92 get hot when I plug it in. Yeah, that's usually CPU, unfortunately. I don't think the CPU is shorted out. Well, I hope not. If I take this off and that's still there, it probably is a CPU, but I really hope it isn't. So, time to take it all back apart again. And see, the thing is, we was getting power before, but this, I think it's this connector that I've just placed because everything was fine. It's just that we had no LCD. I placed the new LCD FPC connector and now this shorts out, so I think it's something to do with what I've just placed. But we'll remove it and we'll see. But I do think it's something to do with the connector because I've had this kind of issue before. But like I say, we'll remove the M92 and see what happens. I'm just going to put the fan on again, so it's going to be a little noisy. Did I drop the oh no, I didn't. What did I drop?
I got the charger.
Okay, so I've removed the M92. So let's test again. Oh, fingers crossed, I really hope. Oh, it's still there. I do think it's this causing it, because why else, if we put the FPC connector on, would it cause that short? Unless putting the FPC connectors on somehow shorted the CPU. I'm gonna have to try it and use my scope off the table. Lift it up. And now you're watching another live stream. I'll see how it is. You guys, Michael's left me for another live streamer.
Publicising.
Fantasizing over
Oh,
another
I
girl.
apologise the thing. What? She removed it and violating you eat rules. Oh wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go from over the top again before I go underneath, but I'm gonna keep the air quite far away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this connector and I'm going to see if that short's gone. Actually, I'm too scared about breaking the connector, so I'm just going to go from underneath.
Yeah, she did a shout out for you.
Hmm?
She did a shout out for you, mate.
Oh, bless. Okay, so that's the connector removed. Let's go ahead and see if that short's still there. I'm not quite sure if it still presents a short. If you've got a FC connector removed, it might do. Where's the bar? Here. Okay. Yeah, and the short's gone. The short is gone. So it is the connector, so I must have not placed it on right or whatever, and it's caused a short. So let's go back and have a look. You've all gone very quiet. Is everyone still there?
I'll fall asleep.
I know I'm that boring. I'm boring you all that you've all gone to sleep. Okay, let's try this again then. Okay, there seems about right. So if you redo the connector, it should fix it then, yes. Well, hopefully, yes. I mean, I thought it was positioned all right, but for whatever reason, it must not have been. So I have to move my scope forward so I can get it off the desk. Okay, now I can heat it up and see what I'm doing, because I wasn't doing it with the scope before, but now I will be. Any of you done any of this kind of repair? Had this kind of issue? Let me know. Move it over slightly. I really want to get this working, only because this is like actually my own personal switch. This is not a customer's. And it just randomly stopped working. So it'd be great to get it sorted. Is that chip in the way? Okay. Just trying to position it as much as I can before I go in with the heat. It's really fiddly, this. It's also another reason why I hate it. I hate doing it. If I have to do it, I'll do it, but if I can avoid it, I try to. Alright, let's heat that up and go from there. Oh, there I go, dropping things again. Any chance you can hold the board, stop it from falling?
Yeah.
I'm going to put pressure on it, just so you know. At the moment, I'm going to put pressure. Okay, so from me looking at that through the scope, that looks on point, but again, it might not be. What is wrong?
You find it so you find it that noise.
Huh?
You find it directly at my face.
Oh, sorry.
Some quick eyeball from there.
Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? So I've placed it on. Let's try again, see if the shots become present again. Oh, someone's got some smelly feet. I think it's you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, actually, yeah, this looks so much better than the last time. I can see a difference now. This looks a lot straighter. Oh wait, is that loose there? Don't tell me that's loose. It is. It hasn't. It's stuck down this side. What on earth? I thought it stuck down there. Okay then. We're gonna have to do this again then. I thought that had stuck because it looks perfectly in spot, but it lifts here. This side seems to be fine. Well, it's okay, we should be able to hand solder from here actually. Push this back. Oh. Does seem like it's lacking a little bit of solder, so we'll go from there, see if that works, rather than heating it back up again. So to clean with, I don't use a wet sponge. I use the Hakko 599B coil, and this works perfect for me. Hey Technic Nerd, well, welcome to the stream. If you've just joined, is that Casper? It is Casper. Casper? I'm just gonna turn the fan on again. No, I haven't changed it. I've just repositioned it. Okay, let's turn it around and have a look from this side. Alright. Fingers crossed that this actually works this time. Sounds like the cats are having fun.
Who always outside again?
So now I'm just going to get my really small fine tip. I think this isn't my finest one. And then I'm just going to check some of these pins to make sure none of them move. Solid. 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 Oh. Got one move in there. That one moves. That one moves. And still these end ones. That one does. Okay. This is beginning to be a pain in the ass.
Using flux.
Huh?
Flux.
Yeah, I've got flux on. Could do with adding a bit more though. Okay, let's check now. Solid, solid, solid. Oh, one moves there. Okay. That one's still moving. Okay. Let's catch up on chat. Feel free to ask me questions. Flux. Yeah, I'm quite quiet at the moment, so probably boring you all. Solid, solid. Okay. Let's check this with the back. Okay, I'm just going to check that. Okay, I still don't really have much hopes for this connector. Hello, Casper. So we've got 3 cats. You saw Rory. Now we've got Casper who's here. So I'm going to check for a shot now. Old man in the shed. Oh, I've not seen you before. Hi, old man in the shed. Welcome to the stream. Looks like you could do with adding some more solder, then flow it into the connectors. It looks like your iron tips are too dry. Possibly. And the shot's back again. Ugh.
Could be something else causing it.
It's not a CPU shot, guys. It's the connector. It's this FPC connector causing the short, because this does cause it if it's not on right. Yeah, it is, but it's not the CPU. Because when I remove this FPC, it works again. So I might just have to order some more of these connectors and try again next week. Possibly, I didn't actually think of trying that. That one doesn't even look like it's on. So it's pin 1, pin 9, pin 11, ow. All of them are shorted in a row. I do generally think it's probably an issue with this connector because, like I said, I did get it off a faulty board. So I'm going to order some more and we'll come back to this next week. But yeah, I think I'm going to call that a wrap, guys. I've been streaming for how
That's
long now? 2 hours and 40 minutes. So during that time, we've managed to get a customer switch working and make a little bit of progress with this. And then I might stream again on next Wednesday maybe. And then we'll look at this one and also another switch that I've got. And probably by then I might have a couple more consoles to sort out as well. But other than that, thank you everyone so much for joining in. I appreciate the support a lot. Let's hope that we can get to 100 subscribers shortly. We've got 8 likes and 14 viewers, so I appreciate it a lot. I hope you all have a lovely night, and I'll see you guys whenever I next stream again. Bye everyone. Thank you again for streaming.